Apollo Hawks have traveled to Basha High School in Chandler, Arizona to battle the number 19 ranked Basha Bears for their spot in the 6A playoffs. Leading scorers Grace Beckler and Amira Reynolds now have a chance to send the Bears to the playoffs for the first time since 2016, making it past the play-in round. And coming all the way from Glendale, the Apollo Hawks, captained by Trinity Harris, prepared to end those streaks. Jaden Rickett and Tate Fitzpatrick tonight here on the call. And Basha was really strong out of the gate this season, but they've been on and off since. Some nights they look like they should be at the top of 6A, others not so much. It's been a learning experience for a lot of the team. Amira Reynolds is the breakout freshman who's shooting 57% from field goal range with 326 points on the year, alongside junior Grace Beckler. The duo has been a force down low with a combined 450 rebounds and 600 points. Apollo, they're in a pretty similar situation. They will close out the regular season 10-8, but they've been a little bit more consistent, and they've got great shooters all around with Serenity Thomas, Mariah Crump, and Stephanie Medina. They're going to move the ball a lot tonight and try and catch Basha off guard for some easy shots. Partner, come on over. We know Basha's struggled to prevent some mismatches throughout the season, so what are they going to do differently tonight?
I mean, first and foremost is just communication. You got to call out those screens and backdoor cuts if they want to win this game tonight, and they really need eyes on all spots of the court.
And their offense is also, they've struggled with making some shots, right, actually executing on their plays. How do you end up fixing things like that?
Well, every team has their off games, Jaden. It has nothing to do with them not being able to make the shots, but if they want to avoid one of those off games, they got to go into the paint, shoot those higher percentage shots, and make sure they make more shots.
I think we've noticed this with the team as well, and we've seen it also with boys basketball here at Basha. But when they go into transition, we've seen some kind of out-of-control possessions, right? They're pushing the ball in a little bit too fast-paced of a tempo. They've got to learn to slow down, get the offense set, and then as you mentioned, right, that's going to allow them to get inside a little bit easier, allow them to take some shorter range shots, which is definitely going to help because the three ball is not their game.
Yeah, and I can't wait to see how they play tonight, Jaden. Trying to get into the open right now. It's going to be a great game for both these teams. It's going to be a heck of a battle, Jaden.
I'm excited to see what they can do, and for Basha, this is a chance to make history, right? It's been 9 years since you've officially been in the playoffs. A play-in game they lost last year, so they have a chance to repeat, but they've got some youth. Claire McMahon, another great freshman. She plays flag football here at Basha. She's one of those dual sport athletes, and she's been incredible as well as some of those other members on the roster, and I think that Basha can definitely come out this time, right? They're not the underdogs, so for Apollo, they almost kind of have the advantage in that sense, right? They're going to be able to play a bit more freely. They're not going to have their backs against the wall. They're going to come in here wanting to take down the big dogs, so that kind of adds an extra sense of confidence to the team, right? We want to take them down. We've got all the swag on our side.
Yeah, they don't really have any expectations coming in tonight. It kind of alleviates the pressure off their shoulder. Basha, on the other hand, all the pressure is on them. They have to win this game. It's basically you win this game because you're supposed to. But Apollo, they don't have to win this game. Of course, they would love to win this game, but they don't have as much pressure.
Yeah, it's obviously less pressure when you don't have to play at home. So Basha here at the Bear Den will have a chance. Who will secure the spot on the train to the 6A playoffs? Basha Apollo next on the BBN Network.
Number 4, Tamaya Gillen. And number 13, Severity Thomas. Head coach, Sereno Gonzalez. And now the scorer for your Basha Bears. Number 3, TJ Coleman. Number 5, Amira Reynolds. Number 10, Grace Beckler. Number 22, Lucy Miller. And number 24, Rosa. Head coach of the Bears, Shanika Bray. Violation. Ball goes to the Bears.
Seconds into the game there.
Give Basha a chance now. Down low, Garner off the glass.
And here we go, Jaden. Getting into the paint, scoring those 2 points is going to be vital in this game.
Down the court, driving, right-handed floater. A good rebound there from Rose Bosch. Beckler with the connection. And some out of control possessions we've seen a little bit back-to-back here, Tate. As Basha will get another. Reynolds now has 2 shots on the night. Timeout called by Apollo.
Early timeout here, wanting to kind of get this game back because out of control on offense and just not stopping anything on defense.
Well, what a sloppy start for both teams. They're just super out of control. We saw twice Mariah Crump take it down the court. She threw it up, and they were both short or underneath the basket. So they've got to slow it down. I'm not really sure what's going through their minds when they do that. I don't know if it's the nerves, but they've got to be careful. They've got to slow. And on the court right now, Basha starter is going to remain after the timeout. Rose Bosch, sister of Torin Bosch, previous Basha boys basketball star a few years ago, making a name for herself. Serenity Thomas fighting the double. Escapes it to Morning. And will be tipped out of bounds by TJ Coleman. Will remain Apollo ball. And a chance now, a fresh slate, Tate, right? You get a pass in, down on the other side of the court. You don't have to worry about taking it up.
You just got to slow it down, Jaden. Just make sure that you're controlling under calm and collective.
And another short shot by Heffley, rebounded by the Bears. Bosch works the baseline. Foul called.
Personal foul number 3, Azariah Almonte, first personal, teams first.
Coleman inbounds it to Lucy Burt. Reynolds working. Coleman wide open for 3. Good save by Reynolds. Gives Bears a second chance.
Nice ball movement by the Bears here.
And another foul called.
And that's what you would like to see out of Basha. Swinging it around the arc, then finding Burke down inside, trying to get those easy points.
Shoot at the line for 2.
And if not, you send them to the line, right? It's a win-win. You'll take a a layup down there. If you've got to fight for it a little bit more, then hey, you'll take the foul as well. First one is good. Grace Beckler on the board for her first time tonight. Beckler 1 for 1, rebounded by Heffley. Excuse me, by Crump. And Crump out of control, spins around.
10-second violation, basketball.
Not great offense by Apollo right
not
there.
Not at all, getting the 10-second there for not going across half court. That is a fundamental mistake.
Yeah, but you got to give some credit to the Basha defense. They fought in there, didn't let them get it across half court. They weren't even halfway there. The Basha defense did great that time.
Burt for 3. Rebounded by Bosch. Down to Beckler, fighting, spinning, gets it in.
And it's those inside shots, Shaden. Something they've been missing all year long, just not getting it into the paint when they should be.
And another turnover. Reynolds off the glass. Bash's defense, they're just picking off Apollo on their own side of the court. Some great full court defense and an overthrown pass tipped by Azaria Almonte. Will give Basha a chance to now go up by double digits without ever letting the Hawks on the board.
I'm liking this defense right now by the Bears. The aggressiveness is really not letting Apollo do anything. The full court is getting a lot of turnovers, which result in points.
And Beckler adds to her tally of stats. Reynolds, great outside shot.
Yeah, and Reynolds is someone who was a little overlooked, at the beginning of the season, but has really come into her own as a star here at Basha.
And Apollo finally breaks the full court press. Now can they capitalize on it? No, they can't. Burt with the steal. Reynolds to her right, Beckler coming behind, and Burt will turn it over. As Crump will get fouled down in the far corner.
Personal foul number 3, TJ Coleman, first personal team.
Basha leading 11-0, 4:48 here in the first quarter. As we see the first substitution of the night for the Bears, Madison Garner coming into the game in place of TJ Coleman. And Claire McMahon also soon to sub in.
Checking in for the Bears, number 4, Claire McMahon.
And she will take place of Amira Reynolds. Reynolds already has over 326 points on the season tape. She's shooting over 57% from the field goal range. She's got some accuracy that's not very common in high school sometimes, so that's an asset that's very valuable to this Basha roster. Down the lane, gets the jelly in.
Great shot there.
And Garner loses control on the ground. Apollo wanting to capitalize. Nunez all the way, and Apollo's on the board. Second time tonight.
Apollo's getting some momentum here, Jaden. 2 easy points for them. 4 easy points for them. We'll see how this keeps on going.
Well, and Bash has had a few back-to-back turnovers. Crump, no foul called. Luckily, they will get the ball down low. And Tate, I mean, right now we've seen quite a few turnovers, right? And I think that's been the difference maker is Basha has been able to get more. But as you said, we've started to see over the past few minutes Apollo getting some good ones to go their way. Nunez fighting. Second won't go. Back out to the 3. Gilliam for 3. And Nunez, third time's a charm down low. 5-point game.
And if you're the Bears, though, you just got to get that rebound. You can't let 3 go through your hands.
More fouls down low. And some substitutions already for the Bears.
Personal foul number 1,
So we're going to see Bosch, Reynolds, and Coleman return back into the game.
TJ Coleman, number 5, Amir Reynolds.
And this is a historic game for Basha, right, Tate? As we mentioned, first time in 9 years that Basha could go to the playoffs. They lost in the play-in last year. Coleman gets stolen. Crump behind the back, and Coleman almost steals it back. Airballed into Bosch. Into O'Connor.
Out of bounds, Hawks ball.
And one thing that Basha really has over Apollo, and you don't need to be a rocket scientist to figure this out, Tate, is the height advantage. Grace Beckler is just a solid foot taller than a lot of these girls out there on the court. And so if you can keep feeding her down low, Basha's going to continue to make shots. The issue they've had is getting their offense set up, right? They run down there, and they're turning over the ball.
They showed great promise at the beginning of the game, but then as it's gone on, Apollo's kind of stopped it.
Coleman gets fouled. A lot of fouls early. We've already seen 4 fouls for Apollo. And I mean, that's quite a lot considering we're in the first quarter still with 3 minutes left. Garner gets the inbound, loses control. And that shot's off the side of the backboard. Coleman off the board, cashes it in. And that was an interesting shot, but she was able to convert, and I guess that's all that really matters. Oh, slipping, sliding. Hockey rink.
Broke her own ankles there.
Just can't get in your head like that. And what type of shot is that?
Just seems like these teams are just throwing up shots at this point.
Audrey O'Connor gets called for the travel before her shot is counted. And that will force Apollo's second timeout of the night. Basha with a 7-point lead. 2:20 here from Basha High School in the first quarter. Bears on top right now, and it hasn't been much competition. What we have seen, though, is both teams trying to help out the other side. I mean, talk about turnovers, Tate.
Yeah, there's been a lot of turnovers, really sloppy gameplay. It's the fouls, it's the turnovers, really everything. But it's also just the shots. They're taking crazy shots that don't need to be taken. Just dribble it around the arc, pass some easier passes, and then try and get into the lane. But they're going off dribble, chucking up three-pointers. I don't understand it.
Part of me thinks that it's just some nerves, right? But also, you know, when you play basketball, you get in a zone. And sometimes it can be a selfish zone. Sometimes it can be a really locked-in zone. And I think that they're just in a mental state right now where they're getting the ball, and their first thought is to just shoot it as quick as possible, right? That's what they're in, and they have to break that mentality. Luckily, when Coleman ran down the court, she was able to make her jumper, but it was a pretty strange shot. Not one that's really commonly seen. And another turnover, Garner with the steals. Coleman down low, tipped into Beckler's hands. And great offense, passing it around. And O'Connor, short but mighty. They're gonna call her for the travel, but what a great display of effort there, Tate. We talked about that as well, right? Hustling on defense or getting rebounds, that's gonna be a huge difference maker.
And there we see that hustle again. Jaden sprinting back, getting the steal.
O'Connor off the front, and more fouls. And look at the cheerleaders. I actually don't often see this, but Apollo has their entire cheer squad here. Basha has maybe 5 students and 0 cheerleaders. So please, Basha, if you're listening, start coming to these games. Cheer, Palm. KDC Dance Company, anybody here, please come. Our teams need your guys' support. Double dribble. You don't want to be the lame school, right? That's what I feel like Bash is kind of known for. They're kind of lame. They don't have much school spirit. I know that insults me. If you're a Basha student, that should insult you as well. Shout out to O'Connor. Big block down low on Reynolds. Reynolds makes up for it. Splits the lane. Here comes Coleman down the middle. And surprise, surprise, another foul.
I'm liking the aggressiveness that Basha is showing tonight. The full court press has really been working on Apollo. Once they got up 11-0, they kind of They kind of reeled it back in, didn't do it, and then they got 6 straight points scored on them, so I'd expect to see them do more of that tonight.
And Basha already in the bonus with 1:30 left here still in the first as Reynolds makes the first. And the second as well, 15-6. Apollo trying to break the press. Garner doesn't get called for the foul, luckily. Leaves open Nunez. As she gets called for a travel. And you almost have to kind of expect that, right? If you know that Bash is going to be physical, pump fake them or let them run into you, right? Don't force the contact and then end up traveling yourself, right? Anticipate it. Reynolds, jumper, mid-range, falls into the hands of Reynolds. Coleman back to Reynolds. A lot of passing, not a lot of shots. Garner says, it's my time to shine.
Basha's been doing a really great job of moving the ball around, but it seems like they're doing like 1 or 2 too many passes every time they start getting into a rhythm. There's one time where you need to shoot the ball, but then you pass it, and then it's not as open as a shot, and they miss the shot. So some of it's just being confident in yourself and taking the shot.
Easy finish there. Amira Reynolds gets her 10th of the night, the first to score double digits.
Out of bounds. Basketball.
Another turnover from the Hawks, and it has been a rough game for them so far, Tate.
Checking in for the Bears.
Yeah, we've been saying turnover a lot, Jaden, especially when they have possession of the ball. Not a great night for them. You got to think that they're going to fix something, right?
That's what an optimist would think, Tate. It's certainly what they would think. A foul called on Malia Mourning. Basha already in the bonus.
First personal team is in the bonus.
Reynolds will be the one to take the shots, shooting 57% this year, as we already mentioned. Ooh, string music, that one went in nice and easy.
45 seconds, don't climb up nobody's back. Here we go. No balls, folks.
And the second, follows suit, change the pace. Paulo working, Crump almost turns it over. Good save by Serenity Thomas. Mourning, floater, won't go.
This entire Basha team is just getting rebounds, getting steals, playing way harder than the Apollo.
Beckler has the entire team on her with 2 seconds left. Reynolds off the glass, buzzer beater. And Basha will score 21 before the end of the first. The Hawks with only a measly 6 points in. It's been a game of turnovers and sloppiness. We have not seen a well-oiled machine from either of these offenses right now. They both have been just going down there, losing control, throwing it up. And as we said, we've seen sparks of what works for Basha, right? Getting Grace Beckler set up down low, Amira Reynolds too. She has been phenomenal tonight, right? The most points. She's all over the court. She's flying around. The Hawks have just been killed by this full court pressure.
Yeah, they haven't been able to break it at all. They've been turning the ball over, passing it to who knows, like Casper?
Passing it to me.
Out of bounds. It's almost every time. They need to calm down, find a way to break this press and get it past the half-court line.
And then for the Bears, they also have to be careful not to pass it for the entire 35 seconds. You've got to take some shots. We've seen great movement, but it doesn't feel like anybody's passing the ball in order to set up a shot. It feels like they're passing it because they don't want to take the shot in the first place. So building that confidence has always been the hardest thing in basketball with younger players, especially here with a little bit of a younger roster. So they've got to just learn to take these shots. It's okay if you miss some. We see boys basketball miss a million shots a night, but they're taking them, and that's the only way you can end up getting better. Finds Bosch. Beckler out wide. Pretty cramped Basha offense. They're all pretty tight right now up next to each other. Beckler double team, uses her height, and one. They're gonna call it before the shot, and they're gonna call it on her.
Almost a great play by the Bears there, but taken back after the foul call.
I wish the world worked that way, Tate. It was all what ifs and should have beens. Reynolds on the fast break, got a steal, then loses control. Still maintain possession. Coleman in and out. Burt, corner, time to shine, green bean!
And there we go. One of the first times we've seen a shot from behind the arc made tonight. And that's not good for Apollo either right there. Travel called. Basha gets the ball back after that killer three. Oh, not a great night for them.
24-6. Coleman, great move, trying to find an open room for a jumper, and she will throw it out of bounds.
Ball stays with the Bears.
Well, and if the game continues this way, Tate, Basha can kind of wrap it up almost before the end of the first half. Coleman out wide, loses control, foul called.
Just sloppy, Jaden. Like both teams, Basha a little bit less, but just been sloppy all games long. Travel, fouls, turnovers, just the entire game.
I think you're blunt, but I think you're correct. And I don't know how much of that they can really change. It's just going to take years of practice. Far down. Now a chance to change the script. Morning. Way too much power.
Gotta pass it there. Try and find somebody who has a better shot than that.
Or like I said, wait for a pump fake, take an easier stop and off the backboard.
For both these teams right now, they just gotta slow it down. Get the playoff atmosphere out of their head. This is just kind of like a normal game. Treat it that way.
Feisty. And
Timeout, Apollo.
Apollo's third timeout of the half as they struggle to find an answer to break this full court press or even capitalize on any of their fast breaks. Bears, they're pretty much on cruise control. They've still got things to improve on, but it's going pretty well right now for them.
Yeah, I mean, they've scored 13 straight points. Apollo hasn't scored in a while, Jaden, and it doesn't seem like that's going to be changing anytime soon. The Basha defense has been on it, and so with their offense, Apollo needs to find a way to break this press if they want to score some points.
And if you're a fan of any of Basha's other sports, check out all of our live streams on the Basha Bear Network channel under our live section. You can also check out our podcast, Table Talk, hosted by myself and Gavin Wilson. Hopefully one day Tate Fitzpatrick will take over, where we talk Basha sports, interview some athletes, coaches, and then check out our sports show, Next Level, where we talk all of the real-world sports stories. You know what I mean, Luka, the Super Bowl, Kendrick Lamar halftime predictions, right? We've got everything over there on Next Level. And then all of our weekly news shows as well. There's a lot to love. So if you end up wanting to check those out, once again, go to the Basha Bear Network channel, which you are watching this video on. It should be right down below your video. Gilliam with a chance to shoot, elects not. Crump runs into pressure, has to back out. Great defense from the Bears. And shot clock violation. The pressure was too much. The lights were too bright.
Just not great basketball there.
Horrible.
I mean, I get your dribble hand off the passing. That was all good. But at some point, you got to take the shot. And at some point, you got to know that the shot clock has 3 seconds left.
That was really a horrible possession all around. The dribble in, no pressure from Apollo, no sense of urgency. And then she backs it out. Oh, just too good. Reynolds tallies her 16th point. 10 more than the entire Apollo team. Oh, clean defense from Grace Beckler, and she will totally let them take the passing off of that. And you can see TJ Coleman dapping her up after that. The spirits are high for Basha right now as they look to make it into their first playoff game in 9 years. And luck absolutely not on the Hawks side. Nunez's shot rackets around. Coleman ripping. Jump ball goes Apollo's way as Madison Garner comes back in for Coleman. Some great bench movement tonight. I feel like we're seeing a lot of players get rest, but it's not too long of rest. It's enough to manage kind of the schedule that the playoffs and the pre-playoffs can bring with a lot of pretty close games and not much time to recover. Ooh, no travel called. And the and one.
Thomas.
Did you see a foul there at all?
Not really, but it was a great shot. I didn't think she was going to make that, but she did. I don't even know how she did.
A broken clock is right twice a day, Tate. Bears in the lead by 18. Garner, great pass to McMahon. Garner wide open for three, wants to drive it in. Corner, O'Connor bounces around. Good shots. I feel like they were a little bit more aggressive there, and Garner is the steal machine tonight as she gets another. Garner trying to reset. Reynolds fights, finds McMahon. Beckler mid-range off the board. Reynolds there for the putback. That is just such incredible hustle. She's all the way out past the three. Next second, she's getting it off the glass. I mean,
great court vision, great communication. Those second chances are what win games for you.
You can never beat people who out-hustle you, right? As long as one person's giving more effort, they're going to want it more. Right now, Basha looks just like that. O'Connor!
Like the shot there, just like you were saying with some of Apollo's fast break, the pump fake to get them jump in, go in, shoot the easier shot.
Mourning. She's had some really powerful shots tonight, albeit not the right type of powerful that you may want. She's been a little bit too close to the basket for some of the force she's putting on that ball, and I think she's got to just breathe, let it be a little bit more comfortable, right? Sometimes you just, as we mentioned, zones, but you get into one of these feelings where you've got to kind of, you're down, you've got to speed up, and for some reason your brain equates speed with shooting the ball harder. Foul by Tia Tuatelli.
Personal foul number 20, Cindy Tuatella, first personal, team's third.
Feed the ball.
4 minutes left here in the first half. Basha now up by 22. Good form, just wouldn't go her way.
Ball stays with the Hawks.
And the Hawks will get a third chance on this possession. Tate, what are your thoughts so far?
I mean, Apollo has been playing a little bit better at the end of the second quarter. Not too great the entire game. And Basha, as we see there, the height, they've just been outpowering them everywhere on the court.
O'Connor on the cherry pick, lays it in. Basha up by 4 times what the Hawks have put up, and another really powerful out of control shot.
It's just rush shots. They're trying to shoot them too quickly, no time, just no thought in them.
And here's another. Get us a bit of luck on her side. Crump gives Hawks double digits. Garner with the move. Finds Connor in the corner. And O'Connor will turn it over. Baseline, Nunez kicks it out. Crump.
On the bounce. Ball stays with the Hawks. Checking in for the Bears, number 10, Mace Beckler, and number 22, Lucy Burke.
The Bears are feeling good right now, rotating everyone in and out. It's been an easy game for them so far, and it doesn't look like it's changing anytime soon.
No, and you can't let it get away from you, right? Okay. But the spirits are going to be high knowing that you have a really, really high probability of going, ooh, a block pass. Oh, wow. Lucy Burke gets her shot blocked and then face plants.
Personal foul, number 1, Crump. Third personal.
Foul will be called on
second.
Crump.
Checking in for the Bears, number 3, TJ
I think
Bowman.
Crump right now needs a rest
And number 24,
on the bench.
Bosh. Checking in
I
for
think
the
this will
Hawks,
be good
number
for her.
3,
She's been out of
Alvarado.
control. Clearly some emotions, maybe some attitude. We've seen that with a lot of players before, and sometimes you need a break, right? You've seen the Snickers commercials before. You're not you when you're hungry. And sometimes you're not you when you're tired from playing a full half.
I mean, in looking up at the scoreboard, she's got one more foul than she has points.
Backcourt violation.
That's not really a good stat line.
Not at all. 32-10. Following the backcourt violation. Apollo desperate for a solution. Nunez doesn't want it. That one short. Almonte. Coleman all the way with the pressure.
The Bears are just lighting it up now. Minute and a half left in the first half, up by 24.
Step back, but not really a step back. Gets her own shot. Okay, you'll take that. Nunez. One girl army.
I mean, if it works, it works, Jaden.
That's why you follow your shot. That's the reason. Garner, interception. And she'll somehow magically come up with the steal as well. And Basha will call their first timeout of the half. Right now, they're up big, and this game is far from over. Is this a good sign for Basha if they make it into the 6A playoff state?
I think it is. We've seen all season long how the Bears can somehow get blown out in games, but then the next game they play really well. But here with this dominant victory over Apollo, if they continue to play how they play, I think it'll show how good they truly are and how they could go further and further in the playoffs. And part of it is just passing it down into the paint. We've seen it all game long, kind of passing up on those threes, and sometimes it hasn't been too great, but most of the time it's been working where you pass it into the paint to get those 2 easy points with your height.
Under 1 minute here, first half. Basha gonna add to their monumental lead. Burt underneath. That was definitely a travel. Coleman reads it perfectly, one-on-one all the way, and the finish. Nobody wants the shot. Nunez, the only one to step up, her 8th point of the night. And 7 seconds left here. Basha's going to look to throw one up, which they've done a really good job at doing that. Bosh, 3. Oh! Rose Bosh.
And Jaden, as you would say, sushi!
That's a way to end the half right there. That's the energy you want leading into it. You're already up by this much. Nice little cherry on top.
Great way to end the half there. Just shows how dominant they've been in this game. Just destroying Apollo, not letting them have any chance at this game.
Not much more you can say than that, Tate. We'll see you guys back at the start of the second half. Second half here at Basha High School. 6A play-in game between the Basha Bears and the Apollo Hawks. Bears completely blew out the first half. They've just dominated this matchup so far. Jaden Rick and Tay Fitzpatrick on the call here live on the Basha Bear Network. Grace Beckler for three. Fight on the ground, and Beckler comes up with it. Coleman, no good. Crump, 10 minutes to relax during halftime, and that's a much better start than the first half for her.
And now she has more points than fouls. There we go, getting on a roll here.
The bare minimum. Bosch had the crazy three-pointer to end the half. Bosch from the corner. Ooh, a close one.
Basketball.
Great awareness right there by Reynolds, just knowing she's about to fall out of bounds and hitting it off the Apollo players.
Beckler fights and draws the foul. Keep feeding her the ball. She's going to score, and if not, she's going to the line 9 times out of 10.
Shoot at the line for 2 shots, Grace Beckler.
First shot, no good. The 101. And there goes another.
I mean, you said it, Jade. 9 out of 10 times she's either getting fouled or scoring the 2 points, and there she goes back to the line.
Shoot at the line with 2 shots, Grace Beckler.
A redo now. Same result, 41-16. A struggle at the line for Beckler. Basha gets so much time on offense, Tate. It's actually incredible how their defense can force these turnovers so effortlessly.
They've been playing a pretty well-fought game, and it's been led by the defense, yes.
Coleman gets it in off the glass. And yeah, we saw in that last possession there, Basha was able to make the Hawks step out of bounds without even getting next to him. That's just how strong their aura is.
Oh, and look at this. They just stop him again.
Oh, and they just gave each other a hug as Crump comes up with it. And out of bounds again.
I think you're right, though. The aura is just insane.
Yeah. Stop aura farming, guys, as the youngins would say. Tate's still a youngin. He's still learning. Feels like just yesterday, Tate, you were still in the womb.
Okay, Jaden.
Beckler to the foul line. Shout out to producer Timothy Seal tonight.
Personal foul number 3, Azariah Monte. Third personal.
You either love him
Shoot at the line
or you don't
for 2
love
shots,
him.
Grace
Although I
Beckler.
think that's how that works for most people. But shout out to Timothy Seal.
And I think most who know him actually do love him.
Yeah.
Not many people don't.
He's told me before, and so this is the first time I'm ever going to reveal this on air. Are you ready? Give me a little.
I'm ready.
Give me a little drum roll here. Timothy has hopes of being a competitive eater one day.
What? Like Joey Chestnut?
Like Joey Chestnut, like the hot dog eating competitions on. Look, I mean, it's close to his end of time in high school, and I think it's time that
Ball stays with the
he
Hawks.
takes that next step.
I can see that career path for him.
Morning finds her open in the corner, overcooked. Coleman comes up with the rebound, 44-16. Lucy Bird. Beckler fouled. She's like Giannis. These are just so tough to defend her.
I mean, going to the line for the fourth time in the last 2 minutes.
Fourth personal, team's fourth. Shooting out the line with 2 shots, Grace Beckler.
Certainly good signs here for Basha. Looking forward to the playoffs next week. And if anybody's wondering why this isn't necessarily considered the playoffs, the way that the AIA splits the brackets is you have the open division, which allows top teams from either 6A, 5A, 4A to all compete in one bracket. However, in the first round or two, depending on the games, if your team loses, you will return to your respective regional bracket, meaning, say if you were in the open but you lost today, you would go back down to 6A for more games. So they have these play-in games to kind of offset with that, so that way all the game times and brackets are lined up. Once everybody who's played in those opening rounds of the Open have lost, they can match them up to the winners of the play-in. Good double team, the full court. They're not stopping, even up by 30. Beckler fights and one. Oh. It's too easy.
It is way too easy right now for Beckler.
The WNBA needs to start drafting straight out of high school. Sign her. Send her over to the Mercury. Let's keep her at home.
It's impossible for them to stop her right now.
Did you know this tape? The Footprint Center is no longer the Footprint Center. They took down all the Footprint Center signs and they're finding a new sponsor currently.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So there is no name for it at the current time of this live stream. And she gets it in this time. A great three-point play.
Checking in for the Hawks, Mika Nunez.
Kia Nunez back in. We know she's been an absolute stud right now. She's already got 8 points, and while that might not seem like a lot, that's half of her entire team's points.
Out of bounds. Ball stays with the Hawks.
And the Bears just relentless right now, playing 3 people on the press, 2 at half court. Apollo just has no answer.
We'll see if Thomas can respond, and she will throw it out of bounds.
Common theme we've been seeing tonight, just throwing the ball out of bounds, out of the reach of their teammates' arms.
Four out, one in. Good steal. Foul right away. The one thing with this game is it's been the least fluid game I think I've ever seen. There are fouls every other second. There's turnovers. We're not seeing a steady, consistent back and forth running up and down the court. And I think that kind of can disrupt how the players end up playing, right? They lose their rhythm when it's constantly, oh, there's a whistle. All right, let's get ready for an inbound play. Nunez works. Foul called.
Personal foul number 10, Grace Beckler, third personal, team second.
And the officials discuss that we're going to give her 2 shots on the line. Some Basha fans wanting that to be a on-the-floor call.
Apollo now has a chance to finally get some more points on the board.
No good. Gets the second, though. You know, positives, right? Everybody tells me to be more optimistic, so let's be optimistic tonight, Tate. Let's start taking away some of the positives for Apollo. McMahon, corner 3!
Just everything is going Basha's way tonight.
Oh, my goodness. Beckler.
Absolutely everything. Apollo has no answers.
Time to take a timeout, in my opinion. You've been picked off twice down low. Morning into trouble. Lifts it in.
And there we go. That's something we didn't see in the first half. A smooth, light little shot, not hard off the backboard.
And a timeout will be called. This time it will be by the Bears. 56-19, and right now it is just all smiles here from Basha High School as the Bears have dominated, and they're so ready for their most likely upcoming playoff game in the 6A bracket. Jaden Ricketts, Fitzpatrick. If you guys are still watching, we appreciate you tuning in. I know it's a little bit of a blowout game, but there's a lot to still stay tuned for here, right? We're Basha's only fully student-ran broadcast, so you're not going to see anybody like us anywhere else, and we're one of the only ones in the state as well, so all the more reason to keep tuning in. And if you're a fan of Basha sports, tomorrow night on the NFHS Network, we will be live streaming Basha Boys Basketball Open Division Playoffs Round 2. The boys will be taking on Deer Valley. Had a great win last night. And it seems like the girls will follow suit with a win of their own. 4 minutes left here in the third quarter. Oh, great block. Reynolds. We haven't heard her name much this half, but as soon as you do, you know an exciting play has happened. Reynolds again.
It's just too easy for her. This entire Basha team is just having their way right now.
Oh, well, spoken but a second too soon, Tate.
Shooter foul number 2, Payne Sword, first personal, team's third. Shoot out the line with 2 shots, Tamia Gillum.
58-19. Tate, your take on the Open Division in Arizona high school basketball? Is it good? Is it bad? Is it mixed? What do you think?
I think it's pretty good. I think you give everybody a chance to make the Open. You've got 5A, 6A, 4A, everyone a chance. And unlike football, they're a lot more equal. You know, in football, it's a 5A team compared to a 6A team is way, like, not fair. But in basketball, they're all kind of the same skill level.
I'd agree. There is a lot less of a difference as compared to, say, football, the only other sport besides baseball. Well, there's a few Open divisions now. I shouldn't say that. It's grown. That's the tough part is if you leave it for one sport, do you leave it for the other? A lot of people have wanted the Open Division gone for football, but do you then take it away for basketball as well, or do you leave it for one sport and not for the other?
It really depends, I feel like. I feel like it's good for basketball to have that Open because there can be some Cinderella stories, some more upsets in basketball than you would see in football. Like how this year we just saw 2 more 6A teams in Liberty Lions and the Basha Bears making the championship game yet again.
Every 5A team lost in that first round of the Open, and took a little seat on the court. Unfortunate for Nunez. It's got to hurt a little bit. I once fell onto a cactus.
Oh, wow. How did that happen, Jaden?
I was a child. I was clumsy, and that hurt.
Oh.
And I feel like that's probably a lot softer than a basketball.
I don't know if it's a lot softer than a basketball, Jaden.
A save that was ultimately fruitless. Beckler, oh my goodness. Good rebound. Bosch to O'Connor. O'Connor, pull up. Okay.
Great shot there. We've seen her hit
Excellent
2
shot.
or 3 of those tonight.
Oh, a great ball handling here right now from Thomas. Almost kind of wanted to take that shot. Nunez way downtown. And that will remain Apollo's ball. Nunez misses. Rebound. Beckler comes up with it, hands it off to Coleman pretty quickly after. Loose ball, finally recovered. Peyton Sword, freshman, only 5 feet tall. He's a fighter.
Personal foul, number 10, Grace Beckler, 4th personal. Team is in the bonus.
So Tate's basketball comes to a close in the next few weeks, and we look ahead at baseball. That'll be your first season commentating baseball, and I don't know. Are you excited? Are you ready?
Excited's not the right word, Jaden, because I myself am not the biggest baseball fan, but I mean, I'm ready to commentate it.
Ready for what's to come?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Tate Fitzpatrick, as insightful and as excited as ever tonight. And if you guys only are here for girls basketball, I'll ask you guys this question, as it was a big debate last night where Bronny James was brought up.
Oh, Jaden, look, she missed a free throw. Let's get back to the game.
Coleman calls for the travel. And I asked you if you could beat Bronny James in a 1v1. You said no. Frankly, I think it's because you're afraid. I responded with saying I could.
And you're the only person who thinks that you could.
David versus Goliath. I'll be the underdog.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you were the Goliath there.
Funny, huh? Funny guy. 60-20. Spirits couldn't be higher. Apollo, season on the line. Spirits going to be lower. Turnover from Brooklyn Douglas. Nunez, great moves. Good form, Morning just couldn't get it to fall. Tipped ball, Apollo's able to reach it. 30 seconds left here in the third quarter. Basha continuing to grow their lead. And Nunez makes it a 38-point game.
Not much hope for the Hawks right now. This game's basically over, and we're not even done with the third yet.
For Basha, it's practicing for games to come. Okay, you practice with 4. Tuatelli. We'll count that as a buzzer beater. It's close enough. Sister of Ty Tuatelli, one of Basha's football's stars, rising star. So 40-point game into the third quarter. Bears just getting ready for what's to come. Tate, how you feeling right now for the Bears? I'll keep bringing it up as the game goes on. I'm feeling good for them. I think that they have some great assets to use, and I think what we've seen from players like Amir Reynolds and Grace Beckler has just been really good, right? That's the spark of what I was talking about at the beginning, where I said they have signs of being one of the top teams in 6A. And other nights, not so much. Well, tonight they have been at the top of 6A. They have shown that they can compete, they can use their leverage, right, their height with Grace Beckler, obviously a 6'1 junior, especially in women's basketball. That's going to be a really big help. And then Amira Reynolds, just one of the most physical high school basketball players I've seen. Her effort is unmatched. The best part about her, she's a freshman. A lot of great things coming for the Bears in these coming years and this upcoming playoff season.
Yeah, and something really good we've been seeing this game too is the rotation they've been having. They've been able to rotate people in and out and still score these points. Audrey O'Connor's had a pretty good game, and these these bench warmers, as people would call them, have been playing amazing in this game.
And 8 minutes away from making it to the playoffs, a monumental accomplishment for Basha High School. Trying to grow the sport of women's basketball. A chance to speak to Claire McMahon earlier in the year, obviously a star of flag football. And we spoke about the rising women's sports scene and what it means to help put Basha on the map as she puts herself on the map and goes the distance. And how important it is to grow sports. And one of my favorite stories she told was she used to play football on an all-boys team. And people would look at her and give her weird looks like, what are you doing? But she would compete, and she wanted to play, and she knew that that was her outlet for opportunity. And so to see her now in high school with a chance to really fully demonstrate what she's got. And Garner, hand on the mouth after that shot.
That was not a great shot there, Jaden.
Look, you got to miss some to make some. It's my
That
favorite
is true.
saying.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Like our producer, Timothy Seal. He misses 100% of his shots.
Even the ones he does take.
Shout out to public announcer Emmett Morris tonight for holding it down on the scorer's desk, giving us all the in-gym call-outs. If you know the channel, chances are you know him. He's multifaceted, right? He can not only be a sideline reporter, but he can be a PA announcer.
Also does some Grizzly Grind, too, if you've ever watched our news.
Our weekly sports segment. See, that's the type of versatility you need, Tate. And McMahon hands it over as a foul is called, and once again the game stops screeching.
Number 11, Madison Gardner, second personal, team's third.
And just so many stops tonight, extending the way this game has played. Heffley. Great footwork. Can she finish it off? Decides nope. Thomas, she's been shooting 32%. Sword recovers. Sword falling. No foul called. Very questionable and out of control. And so Tate, for anybody still sticking with us here in this blowout, what's your history like with basketball?
So I played basketball for a lot of my life, ever since I got into sports. I still play, not really as competitive as some of the games we have here on the BBN, but I play for a rec league called East Valley with my older brother Brady Fitzpatrick.
Oh, wow.
Actually, earlier this year, you asked if you could join it, and
you denied me. You actually ghosted me.
yeah, we had too many players. Dash Blake, star Basha football players on our team.
Are you any good? That's what I'm really getting at.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Are you any good?
I'd
feel
say
like it's pretty
I'd say I'm
simple.
pretty
Yeah,
good.
you're pretty good. Is your competition any good?
Some of the teams are. Some of the
So that's
teams
a no.
are not great.
Out of bounds. Up.
You know, there's no words. It's going to be a disappointing end to Apollo's season, traveling all the way from Glendale. Crump.
Out of bounds. Basha ball.
So you really don't think I could beat Bronny in a 1v1?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
There's nothing I could do to convince
0%
you. Nothing
chance.
I could do to convince
0%
you. Not a single
chance.
thing.
Not a single thing.
Why? He's brawny. If he's so bad, why couldn't I beat him? That's the narrative I hear. He's horrible. I feel like I stand a chance. No response. Because you're afraid.
No, because I'm at a loss of words.
Okay, well, that's your job. Fight for the ball.
Jump ball.
And Apollo fighting for dignity at this point. Gonna be a long bus ride home. Pretty sad bus ride too.
Sure is.
Have you ever lost a game before and had to take a bus ride home and the vibes are off? And if so, what was that like?
Really quiet on the bus ride home. Everybody, nothing to say.
Crump shows up.
Crump.
Just not a great feeling.
Oh, like a pit in your stomach? So Tate, you've got one game left in your inaugural season of commentating, as we've mentioned. What's been your favorite memory so far?
Ooh. Favorite memory.
Just of basketball.
Just of basketball.
Yeah.
Trying to think here. Maybe it was that one game where we got all of Emmett's sideline reporting good without any problems.
Oh, that was probably a good game. I think my favorite moment, if I had to choose, was a game where Kingston Montague just went off, right? I mean, whew. Breakout freshmen. So many freshmen. Basha has become a great school for athletics where you look at them 5, even 10 years ago especially, nowhere to be seen, right? We were not considered competitive, except for boys basketball. They won state back in the late 2010s. But football, I mean, the program is in a completely different state now than it was. And girls basketball, same thing. I mean, the culture has shifted. And it's because of these athletes out here that represent Basha. They show what it means to be a Bear, and now they can help spread the word about this school and get more recruiters, coaches, money, the most important part. Just like our growing multimedia and film program here, if you want to ever be a part of these live streams you watch and you're a student, sign up for multimedia and film. You can start doing these as your extracurricular, and it's a lot of fun. Obviously, I wouldn't be here for 3 years if I didn't think it was. 1 minute left. Peyton Sword, a little short. Brooklyn Douglas with the board. Foul called. We need a foul counter. How many times I've said foul?
I really do. Foul and turnover. I need to start counting them every game.
And on the verge of the finish line, Basha so close. Just 46.7 seconds separating them from the 2024-2025 6A playoffs. The bigger question that remains now is, can you go all the way? And Basha's 3 students cheer. Doesn't seem to work.
I think there's 4 over there. I think there's 4.
I've never been the best at counting. Lays the brick. Thomas, what do you got? 40 seconds. Oh, and that's a game changer right there, Tate. That completely.
Thomas.
Sure about that, Jaden?
That completely just flipped the momentum.
And now they're only down 37. They've got this. 26 seconds left in the game.
Yeah, a chump like you probably couldn't do that, but me against Bronny, I can do that easily.
Oh, so you would get down by 37 against Bronny.
Hey, I like to keep it close. I like to keep it entertaining up until the end. 10 seconds left. Bash is just going to hold on to it. 2, 1, and there we go. The Basha Bears are advancing to the 6A playoffs. Head coach, Coach Bright, obviously been working with her team for this goal for a long time, and her girls showed up when they needed to most in an excellent game from people all around. We saw TJ Coleman with 10 points, and then Amira Reynolds activate her takeover. Right, she was unstoppable alongside Grace Beckler. Those three, a force to be reckoned with tonight, and it's going to take a lot for some of these other teams to end up actually taking them down.
Yeah, it was a great performance here by the Bears. Not great by the Hawks,
Horrible.
but great overall game. Love to see it if you're a Bears fan.
And stay tuned. We'll have some post-game interviews coming up in a minute. And once again, tomorrow live on the NFHS Network, we will be here for boys basketball Open Division Round 2, where they take on Deer Valley. Basha coming off of a great win last night. They're going to have so much momentum carrying over. They had a really tough senior night loss last week to Castile, and that was a game changer when we talked to head coach Mike Grotehouse for them. But now 2 Basha teams in the playoffs. A time to shine. Jaden Rick and Tate Fitzpatrick. Timothy Seal, our producer. Like I said, stay tuned. We're going to have some post-game interviews coming up in a second. And here we are, Basha girls basketball. You guys are going to the 6A playoffs. You won your play-in game. We're joined here with Grace Beckler. Grace.
You're the bun.
Athletic Director Eric Magana stopping by to say hi. And Grace, I mean, what a game. You guys played amazing. And what's it like now to have a chance and you're going to the 6A playoffs?
It's so exciting. This is my 3rd year at Basha. First time we've made it. We've won a play-in game. Big for Basha girls basketball. I'm excited. We're excited. Gonna go all the way, win 6A.
And what does it mean to you to now be a part of that team that's helped put Basha's girls basketball on the map?
It feels so special. It's fun to be a part of something so big and so fun.
And you guys played amazing. I mean, you specifically alongside Amira Reynolds. You guys are really clicking today. So how was that dynamic duo chemistry you guys have been working on? How has that really evolved over the season?
Me and Amira played club together over the summer, so we already had a little bit going in, and now just playing with Amira is so fun, so great. We just clicked. She's athletic, the whole team's athletic. We gel really well together. In practice, we went over all the scouts, so really just the culmination of all the work we put in as a team.
And with you being an upperclassman and she being a freshman, what type of advice have you given to her to help her kind of throughout and get started in her high school career?
She's honestly such a good player. I haven't had to help her at all.
Not at all?
Not at all.
Wow.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add? You guys, good luck. You're going in there. Anything else you want to say?
Let's go win 6A.
All right, I love to hear that. Thank you for tuning in tonight on the Basha Bear Network. Jaden Ricken alongside Grace Beckler, girls basketball going to the 6A playoffs with a big 6A play-in win. For the Basha Bear Network, Jaden Ricken signing off.